Hello and welcome to Pay Global app. Pay Global allows you to send and receive money into your mobile wallet instantly from around the world. It makes money transfer easy, affordable, smooth, and convenient for agents and users. Roaming services are also available globally. So, how to get started? First, you have to download the Pay Global app. Step 1. Open Google Play or Play Store using your Android device. Step 2. Search by typing Pay Global in the Google Play search engine.
Welcome back. We're still on the first show on GNTV and we're live on all social media platforms. We're on YouTube, we're streaming live there. We're on Facebook as well, GNTV, and also on Twitter. So we'll be going into the Easy FM studios to bring you Dr. Dixon as he brings you a talk on ulcers. So if you have stomach ulcer, know that there are types of it, and doctor will take us through the types, the causes, the symptoms, the solutions, and everything. And I in particular am very much interested, so you should be interested as well. But for now, let's go into the world of business. 5 years ago, a baby was born, and this baby was born into the world of business to help us manage our finances. So they've been around, they've been in a system, they've captured the market, somehow they're making inroads a lot to help us do that. And I know some time back when they were born, they actually complained about the trust that people have in companies who manage their pensions or their pension schemes, right? So today we have the general manager for Pentrust. Pentrust is a subsidiary of Group Indum, and Victoria Ama is a general manager. She's joined me in the studio. You're welcome.
Thank you, Annie. Good morning. Good morning.
I like the way you are relaxed and looking at me. I like that.
I just wanted to know just how much of the past history you've been able to remember.
Oh, I remember. I remember. I really remember. Yeah. But 5 years, I mean, 5 years, when I saw the 5 years, I was like, hey, since yeah,
it flies, right?
It does.
And
it
so,
does.
Whatever you do with the time available for you is really
very
important. Yeah, we started this in 2013,
very
so
important.
it's been 5.
So how has it been? 5 years.
Well, it's been an amazing journey, I must say. I mean, you were quite a bit a part of that story, and so we shared some of our baby steps and teething challenges with some of you when we do get opportunity to come on stage. Well, we started in 2013. Ended the year with just about 5 customers and about 80,000 under management.
That's funny.
And mind you, when I say 80,000 under management, those are funds that we have been able to mobilize from our customers. Those are not our revenue, all right? Because our revenue is 1.3% of that 80,000. Wow. So you can imagine paying overhead costs, paying salaries of staff. 1.3 of 80,000 is really nothing,
So how did you go to
that? So it was a tough start, but that actually encouraged us to work harder, to push harder. And then the key motivation was the fact that we knew businesses were dotted all across the country. Yeah. We knew that we couldn't have stayed in Accra and expected something tremendous to happen, because we knew that we came into the business when others have already started. And so we had to look elsewhere, and which is actually why we have decided to be a national trust company in character. And so when you are in Bulga, you are in Y, you are in Tamale, you are in Hohoe, you will find us there, because we created our niche over there. And it is impressive to know that 5 years on, we've moved from 80,000 to almost 100 million.
Wow.
And for us, that's not where we thought we would be in 5 years. We really anticipated to do even more than that. And so we are not resting on our shoulders at all to say that, oh, now we are at 100 million.
That is,
no, not at all.
Good.
Because it still remains 1.3 of whatever you manage. All right. And so until that 1.3 translates into something that is very significant for you to affect your bottom line very positively, then you can say that, okay, we are gradually arriving. For now, we still do 1.3 of 100 million.
You just remind me of Mrs. Hindu.
Yeah, it's still not what we are expecting, but we are pleased, we are happy, we are excited about what has been achieved with the team of very young men and women, very intelligent, enthusiastic, talented young men and women. We've been able to do what we have done now. From 5 customers now we have, and when I say 5, not individuals, from 5 SMEs, corporate entities, we now have over 1,500 of them. And so we feel that there is some work that has been done which must be congratulated, which must be commended, but we are also very positive about what the future holds, and we are getting very ready, or we are ready to embrace that future.
People might be a little lost as to what we're talking about, but we're talking about pension schemes, and we have the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and you manage
we do tier 2 and we do tier 3. Exactly.
So there are other companies that are also in the system that are trying to manage your tier 2 and your tier 3s for you. But what's good with Pentrust is, she's just mentioned that they have their national character. So everywhere you are, and I think that is one peculiar thing with the group. Almost all the time they try to be national in character, so they can tap the untapped.
Because all of the businesses are not in Accra.
Exactly.
All of the businesses are not in Accra. If you still check the 2010 population census, you realize a number of people are all over the places. It's not for any reason that we have all of the regions and the districts out there. So why fight in Accra, where there is business out there? Of course, you may get some cream in Accra, no doubt. And so we also take part of that cream. But when there is business out there, you just got to go out there. For our business, to be honest with you, it doesn't make a lot of business sense for people to pick themselves, travel to say Bolga, to go look for business, sleep in hotels, pay the air ticket and come back. It doesn't really make a lot of business sense because the margins are small, and the kinds of businesses you find in some of these places may not be as big as you will find in Accra, but they're still businesses. And for us also, the motivation beyond the typical profit making, the motivation also is to ensure that every Ghanaian man, woman has a certain pension scheme, whether he or she is in the formal sector or the informal sector. Because truth is this, many people retire. By the time they are done processing their claims, they are dead. The frustration is just too much. Many people retire only to realize that they're actually retiring on a 300 cedis or a 200 cedis. That cannot pay any of the bills. Don't forget, once you get to that stage, the stage itself comes with its own requirements. So there are health bills that you need to pay for. All right, there are, especially if you live in a community that is pretty small. There are people who look up to you to be the harvest committee chairman, to be this, to be that, and at all that's a reality. At all of those functions, you are expected to give something, because these people invited you because of the respect they have for you. All right, and so all of those things come up, and then suddenly you realize that, well, I only went for say 200 or 500, and then I pay this, and then I pay that, and then I pay that, and then I pay that. Then you also realize that because you are not waking up in the morning to go to work anywhere, then you have just so much of free time around you. And you know what free time does? You want to occupy it. So, okay, shall I buy this? Okay, shall I go here? Shall I visit this cousin? Shall I visit this person? All of those things are feeding on the small money that you have. So by the time the month is end, you've done 10 days, that money is gone. And how else are you going to cushion yourself to the month ends? Then also, is the reality of allowances. A number of people work in places where they pay them allowances. Once you are on pension, there's nothing like allowance. All right. And so when you were working, for instance, you would have said, well, I have my salary on the 27th or the 30th, 31st, whichever your structure is. By the 10th, my fuel allowance will come, my rent allowance will come, my something allowance will come, and those are the things that used to cushion you. Once you're on retirement, there's nothing like allowance. So you're just going to feed on just whatever it is that you are getting from your pensions. And so it is critical that for pensions, you really start investing properly. And that is why most of the times we say that, yes, you have a tier 1 with SNIT. Yes, you have a tier 2 with Pentrust. Yes, you even have a tier 3 with Pentrust. Nothing stops you to still say, I want to do a personal pension plan for myself. Because at that stage of your life, you are not working. And we always say, or I always say, myself, my team, this is actually the mantra we say, you cannot rely on your children to be your pensions.
So how do people get into the Pentrust scheme? Or I'll ask you, how do you even get into people's business by convincing them and letting them come on board? Well, so that if there's anyone watching, the person who wants to start anything like that.
It's pretty simple. We have a couple of products. Some are very mandatory, very statutory by law, and then others are voluntary. And so if you take the typical tier 2 scheme, for people who are salaried workers, it is the 5.5% that as an employee you pay. out of that 5.5%, the 0.5 on top of it is added to the 13% that your employer pays, making 13.5, and that goes to SNIT. SNIT retains 11% and gives 2.5 to National Health Insurance. All right. Now, the 5% is what we manage. That is mandatory. But the fact that it's mandatory does not mean that we sit in our office and expect people to walk to us. We go sell. All right, so we go, we prospect, we sell, we present to them, we give them the benefit, and then we sell. But that is mandatory.
So they choose you to be their tier 2 manager?
Yes. So when you go, you make a sales pitch, you give them reasons why they should choose you over others, and then you are chosen. So we actually go and sell. So it's typical business development, aggressive selling. That is what we do to get business. All right. So that's for tier 2. But then it is important that I put it out there that tier 2 is mandatory. And so if there's anybody listening to us this morning, your employer has not signed your company onto any tier 2 scheme now, please, 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 it is important for you to go find out where is our tier 2, because these are monies that are being deducted from your salary. The 13% is paid by the employer, but the 5 is from your salary. And so if you do not have a tier 2 trustee, you really want to go talk to your employer. And if you are an employer and you do not have a tier 2 trustee yet, please know that the law can come after you. And
so it's possible that the companies or the employers who are deducting the tier 2 percentage, but but workers don't even know where their tier 2 is going.
Truth is, no, you know, the thing about pensions in this country is actually a bit scary for me, having been here for this, well, initially as fund manager and then now as trustee. For me, it's scary. A number of people, including the educated ones like you and I sitting here, only go chasing their pension, only start asking questions about pensions when they are 55, 57, 58. And so there are many people who are my customers, for instance, who leave one employee to another employee, you know, whose scheme we are managing. And, you know, the law allows you to transfer. We call it porting. So you help them complete their porting forms, and you say, okay, who is the trustee for the company you are just leaving? Oh, we don't know. And they don't know. So, okay, so you as a trustee know the company. You need to go figure out who the trustee is and start the process. They don't know. They could be MDs, they could be big men, big women.
Oh, for now I know mine.
So
it's Pentrust.
So really, that is what it is. That the pensions discussion, which is actually why we appreciate the opportunity to come and do a bit of education. The pension discussion really is not one that people want to take as serious as how they would take a typical banking discussion, a typical investment discussion, a typical oil and gas discussion. You know, and people think that pensions is when I'm getting there. But I always say that that is not the right thing. The law itself allows you to start investing at age 15. It is for a reason, because in this country we say people who are not minors are 18, and so 15 is actually a minor, and the law is expecting that a minor should start contributing. It is for a certain purpose, you know. So you cannot wait and say that, well, I work, they contribute for me. That is fine, but there are two things you must always guard against: the contribution on one hand and the monitoring on the other hand. You cannot just leave it to chance.
Right. Just a quick one before I ask about your 5-year celebration. When SNIT was hit with scandals and things, has it any correlation with the other tier 2, tier 3 managers like Pentrust?
Ideally it should, because we all play in the same industry. And so yes, if customers are apprehensive, if there is panic, it should affect us as well. Because remember, from your opening line, which is what I shared with you some years past, there's like the issue of trust, you know, especially when it comes to private players. And so yes, for customers who were a bit worried, for customers who felt that, well, are we really safe, it may have some effect on you. But then, knowing that we are managing various schemes, you know, also get them to know that, okay, so that is tier 1 and this is tier 2. But generally you would expect that people will panic that, well, if this is SNIT, then what are the private people doing? You know. So yes, those sentiments came through every now and then, but it is your duty to assure the people, all right, that so even with the SNIT scandal, that, well, it doesn't really mean that you won't get your pension when you go on retirement. And so
okay, so what are we doing in 5 years? What do you expect? What do we expect from Pentrust?
Well, so 5 years gone, In the next 5 years, starting from yesterday, or maybe starting from today, because yesterday was 5. So starting from today, there are about 3 key areas of our business that is getting our attention. We are investing again in human resource. Because really, whatever we do is powered by people. It's powered by intelligent, innovative, hardworking, talented people. So we continue to invest in them. We continue to invest in training for them. We will continue to invest in technology, because really, as the numbers are growing, then you're also looking for a robust technology that is able to manage all of this. Otherwise, you can't do all the beautiful things and you are not able to deliver on the core mandate. So there is technology investment that we are doing. Then there is also investment in records keeping. And for me, that's always the most passionate. You see, when people go on retirement and they say that it took me 5 months, it took me 1 year for my claims to be processed, it is simply because the records are not apt and they are scattered and they are nowhere to be found. All right. And so records management for us as trustees is one of our biggest job. And so yes, again, as our numbers are increasing, there is need to invest some more in records keeping to ensure that everybody does have the accurate records. For all of the people we've had to pay in tier 3, because tier 2 we've not really started paying, the payout phase is not yet here. For all of the people we've had to pay in tier 3, we do this in 3 days or 5 days at the maximum. All right, once you provide us with all of the documentations that we require. That is because the record is apt. But once we begin to lose some of them here and there, then we say, oh, go get this. Oh, say, I gave it to you some time back. No, we don't have it. All of those things, then it takes a month or 2 or 3. So record keeping, record management is really one of the areas that we are considering to invest in. So in the next 5 years, we are expecting that those 3 areas of our business will be very key. We are also expecting that we'll continue to work in harmony with our custodians, our fund managers, because really we work with them to invest the pension funds that are available for us. And then we are looking forward also to continue to delight our customers, because really, without them, I wonder what food I'll be eating. I wonder how I get to sit in this studio talking plenty. And so those are 3 key areas of investment for the next 5 years. I'm so upbeat about the future, because if the first 5 years driving through all of the turbulence could bring us here, that I'm very upbeat and very excited and very positive that the future can only get better. So for this month in June, really talking about the anniversary, we're doing quite a bit on social media.
Okay.
And so we've launched a campaign called the Joyful Future Campaign. So every Friday we will be having a discussion, as you're doing with me, with some of our customers. They should share their experiences with us, what they think we've done better over the years, what they think we can do again. And then yesterday we had the anniversary proper. It was quite a small celebration, because these are pension funds. We do not touch people's funds to do the kinds of things we do. And so so with the team we try to reminisce 5 years ago how we started it and all of those. And I think when you go on our Facebook page, that's Pentrust Retirement Advisory, you'll find all of the information we had there. You find all of the celebration we had yesterday. It was just a very small but very significant and symbolic celebration for us, that we have come this far, and we are still looking into the next 5 years with a lot of hope, And we got all of the staff sharing their experiences, how Pentrust has helped them build their career, how some came in as national service people, and today they are managing huge portfolios and all of those. And so they shared all of their experiences and what the clients have made us to become, the challenging moments that has, really help us to become better managers of pension funds or better customer service professionals. So you have all of the pieces of information they shared over there. And so when you check, we invite you to follow us on our Facebook page. And then there are always pieces of information regarding retirement that we will post there for you to read. And these are good resources.
So if you don't know your trustee, especially your tier 2, tier 3, you may want to contact your employer or your managers to find out who is your tier 2, tier 3.
Or you may want to call me.
Or you call Victoria. What number?
Call me on 0302 901 500. That's the office line. We are in Jowlu. They call it number 39 Jowlu Butchie Street, not so far from the Jowlu Special School. But feel free to call my line on 050 129 5587. 050 129 5587. The office line is 0302
so the numbers are actually on
500.
Great. So it's on the screen for you. Just capture the number. And if you don't know who your trustee is, find out. If you don't have, get to Pentrust, contact them because it is a disciplined company.
And retirement is real.
And retirement is real.
I'd say that it is as real as hell. It is as real as heaven.
As heaven.
Unless you die before then, you definitely will retire.
You would understand.
And I tell you, you want to retire in some comfort.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Victoria.
Thank you.
Is the General Secretary for Pentrust, and they're celebrating 5 years. You want to contact them and make them your trustee for the next years in your life before you go on retirement. I thank you once again. You're still watching the first show live on GNTV, and next is our Tuesday Wahala. I'll be back.
Hello and welcome to Pay Global app. Pay Global allows you to send and receive money into your mobile wallet instantly from around the world. It makes money transfer easy, affordable, smooth, and convenient for agents and users. Roaming services are also available globally. So, how to get started? First, you have to download the Pay Global app. Step 1. Open Google Play or Play Store using your Android device. Step 2. Search by typing Pay Global in the Google Play search engine. Step 3. Locate and click on Pay Global and install. Step 4. After installing, tap Open and allow access to complete the process. Now, let's see how to create a new Pay Global account. After opening the Pay Global app, click on New User Account. Complete the registration form with the following information to register your account: phone number, full name, email, date of